Hi, it's Brett Payne, the CEO of Contender Esports, and I want to tell you a little bit about what happens if you respond back to this newsletter or maybe this video and you say, I'm interested in learning about the franchise. What actually is going to happen? You're going to hear from us so that we can spend a few minutes with you and tell you what the process is, and I want to talk to you about that process right now of how you actually learn about Contender Esports and how to get the franchise. So the first thing that's going to happen is that if you say you do want to talk with us, we're going to say, can we give you our calendar so that you can get an invite and get on our calendar or schedule with us? We're going to book about 30 minutes of time with you. It won't take 30 minutes, but we want to block off that time so that we have plenty of time to kind of discuss a few things. But before we get into that meeting, the very first thing that we're going to send to you prior to the meeting is something that we call a candidate guide. It's a really special tool that's going to be really helpful to you. We tell people that if you go through the candidate guide, you're probably going to answer about 90% of the questions that you're initially going to have about the franchise, because we know what the questions are that you're going to answer. So we're going to give you a link for the candidate guide. We're going to give you a password for it. And we just ask that you set aside about 30 minutes of time so that you can go through the guide. Are you going to have to read 200 pages? No, not at all. We made it super simple for you. We'll give you the link. You'll log in. You'll put a little bit of information in there. It'll take just a minute or two. Put in the password. And then we're going to give you access to audio files that we have put together for you, 10 or 12 or something like that, that answer the most important questions that people ask us about Contender Esports, about franchises, about revenue, about locations, about all kinds of things, how we find locations, what our buildings look like, all these kinds of things that I know are ruminating inside of your mind. So we're going to give you access to that. You'll go through the audio files, answer a couple little questions just to see if it helps you out. And then when you're done with it and you hit submit, we're going to get the answers that you put in there. You're going to get the answers that you put in there, so that when we get into the meeting, the majority of questions that you have probably will have already been answered. Why do we do it like that? It's because we want to make sure that we spend our time with you really on your specific objectives. Like, why do you want to get a franchise to begin with? What's interesting about this? Let's talk about your city a little bit. Those kinds of things. We want to talk about those, not kind of the fundamentals of how the business runs and things like that. We can always cover those kinds of things. So the first thing that's going to happen, we're going to get you an invite to get on our calendar. We're going to set aside 30 minutes of time to talk with you on video. We like to see you on video. And then we're going to get you the candidate guide. And the other important thing that we're going to communicate to you, besides telling you what the process is in that very first meeting, is that we're going to say these words to you. If at any point during this process you feel like you want to hit stop, or you want to hit the pause button, or you say, I don't like Brett Payne, or I've changed my mind, or I'm moving to another country, I'm not going to do a franchise anymore, then you need to feel complete freedom to always say, let's put this on pause, or let's stop. We're never going to be offended. We're never going to be hurt. These meetings are not sales meetings. They are meetings where we are learning. I'm going to tell you a few more details about this franchise process, but this is the most important thing right now. So if this is interesting to you and you want to learn, just email us back or text us or respond any way that you want to, and we'll get you on the calendar and talk to you about whether this is going to fit for us and for you in your particular city.